Welcome, my friends, to episode 104 of Prof and Dev Play Games. I'm the Professor Larry, and over there is Anthony the Dev. I'm at Prof Plays Games. He's at SummerSpeak on Twitter, and here we are to talk about kind of what we think the games that are in the running for Game of the Year that we've played so far, and then looking ahead to what's coming out the rest of the year and kind of having a discussion about what we expect to be good and what we're excited about for the rest of the year. Basically, a discussion today of games we've played and are looking forward to playing the rest of the year in terms of what will shake out to be like top 5, top 10. So kind of a preliminary discussion on that.
Yeah.
So how you doing?
Doing okay. I built bunk beds today.
You built bunk beds for the kids?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're in bunk beds now.
Oh my gosh.
They graduated. Yeah. Oh, they're super excited.
Yeah.
Son is in the top bunk. Daughter, bottom bunk. She's already launched herself off the top bunk though and hurt herself. So.
Oh God.
Not horribly, but she landed and kind of tripped and hit her head a little bit and learned very quickly. Don't launch yourself off the top bunk until you are really prepared. So.
Ah, wow. Well, I'm glad she learned that.
Yep, without breaking anything. It's okay. Right. It's okay. Yeah, that was my day. Dismantling beds and furniture, rearranging things, and building a new bunk bed. So
Good exercise.
Yeah, a lot. I am actually starting to feel sore now. I'm like,
yeah.
I am not young anymore. I am not in shape.
No, we certainly are not. My day has been kind of a finicky, fussy baby. We're in a fussy baby stage, and we're kind of coping with that. So, fun stuff.
Always fun.
Yeah.
Been there twice.
Yeah, we're doing it once for sure. Definitely getting snipped eventually. So, as soon as I figure out when to do it,
I have been snipped. There'll be no more kids. None.
Yeah. I know that there are stories about people who've been snipped who end up having a kid anyways. But...
actually, they talked about that when I was done.
Yeah.
And the nurse there explained it very well. And she's like, the body wants to heal itself.
Exactly.
And I'm like, you're right. I guess things could just align in the right way. And the body's like, yep.
That's right.
We're reattaching. We're doing.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense to me. So yeah, let's get right into what we have played so far this year that really stands out. And, things that we'll have in mind for our end of the year, game of the year discussion. I think I'll start with a game that's probably on both of our lists, and that's Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
That was a game I kept coming back to for a month and a half or even 2 months, and I still come back to every now and then just to run around and explore with a new DLC update. Looking forward to the story update coming. I guess it's this fall. So that'll be in consideration for the whole package.
I'm wondering when that DLC will come out, because I assume they don't want to drop it on top of Mario.
I imagine it would be November.
Yeah.
Just because that game's already out and it gives people more reason to buy it during the Black Friday kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
I really want to play more of it, but I want a save file that I will be keeping.
Yeah, you're holding off.
I'm sitting here. I'm like, God, I would like to play. My kids are like, can you play? And I'm like, I really don't want to do anymore.
Right.
And it's weird. I have a couple friends that have picked up Switches over the summer, and they are just knees deep in Zelda. And they're loving it. Everyone I know just loves it, and they're
right.
One of it has clearly called it. He's like, favorite Zelda of all time. Beats Wind Waker for him.
Wow.
So.
Well, it's interesting. So I feel like that proclamation is difficult because it's so recently released. I think you mentioned it before, having space and wanting to come back to it and play it again, and having more time to think about, where does it fit on the pantheon of top Zelda games. But I've heard a lot of people, at least on different podcasts, rating it as top 2 Zelda. So I wonder.
Yeah, I
assume it'll stand the test of time.
It's up there. It is definitely, I would say, within top 3 for me. But
yeah,
I don't know where it's going to fall out in the end. It could continue to rise. I just need to play more of it, and I need to see. Like I said, revisit it in a year, 2 years, see how I feel about it. And who knows what's the next game they're going to put out. Because I have a feeling the next Zelda they put out is not... I don't think they're going to reinvent everything. I really do think it's going to be a Breath of the Wild style, maybe Majora's Mask style, where it's a true sequel.
Same assets, same engine, and just do a quicker turnaround time.
And people love Majora's Mask, so they did a great job with that turnaround.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, it was a year, I think, dev cycle for that game. because they had everything. So
Yeah.
So I heard some rumblings that they're doing like a top-down Zelda next, but I don't know if that's true.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they've gone back to the 2D Metroid. Maybe they'll go back to a 2D Mario or a 2D. I guess in Mario Odyssey there is some 2D elements.
Yeah, I played some of that.
Oh, nice!
It feels great.
Yeah, like make another one of these. Like I can't imagine the dev cycle is that long to make a 2D Zelda. Mario. So.
Not completely. It probably would take longer than you would think.
I just imagine it's shorter than a 3D.
Yeah, usually it doesn't take nearly as much, but
right.
Making games still takes. It's hard to do year turnarounds. It's really hard.
Right. I just think about all the indies kind of taking the place of those 16 8-bit Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So, but it's still. Yeah, Breath of the Wild is in everyone's mind when we're talking about Game of the Year discussions, and I think that this last DLC drop, the Master Sword trial was fun, and like the different masks were fun. But I think the weightiness of the story DLC coming up is going to reignite that discussion for a lot of people. And
I agree.
The crazy thing about it is there's so much in it. Like it's possible. I think someone will find everything, but there's a ton of stuff that not everyone's going to see because they're not going to explore every single corner of that game.
Yeah. Even finding all the shrines doesn't mean you've seen everything in the game.
Right. And there's, so many hidden things that don't even really relate to like a quest or anything. It's just a bunch of flavor around the world that makes replays. It's almost like The Witcher 3 where like there was so much, at least I didn't do everything. So on a replay, I'm doing new stuff. So it's kind of in some ways new to me 2 years later. So,
yeah. So that one's definitely on my list. And then for me on my list, and you should guess it, Persona 5.
Yeah. I think
it's still there. It's still in my mind quite a bit. I've been distracted by Zodiac Age right now, but I still think Persona 5 handily has some of the best story and writing for the year.
Right.
And mechanic, like style, like the whole thing. Like if I was just basing a game on pure style, it would win hands down. Like it is the most stylistic game I've ever played, just from a like top down vision of the director, the art director, and the composer. Like those three were on the same page and they knew exactly how to match everything together. That one's definitely in my top 5 for the year, without a doubt. Which you haven't played, but
no. And I was thinking about time played doesn't really equate with like best game, but that's the game that you put the most hours into this year, right?
110, I think.
And that's more than Zelda, I think, for you.
Yes, I think Zelda was at 60, 65. I mean, I could put way more time into Zelda.
Oh, yeah, of course. But
yeah.
Like you said, you've been holding yourself from doing that.
Yeah. Persona, I mean, was 100. It's a 100-hour game, roughly. Like,
right.
Give or take 10 hours, depending on how fast you want to be at it. But it's going to take you about that much time, which actually might be a detriment to some people. So,
well, it's just daunting. Like, it's something that a lot of people look at and say, well, I could knock out like 10 AAA games in that time, and maybe my time is better spent doing that. But the quality of it speaks to, I don't know, a desire of a lot of people to give it a crack, even if they don't get through all of it.
I know. I would say that there's a lot of people that do really enjoy it. I was not surprised, but not that at PAX there was so much Persona 5 cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
It was everywhere. And we're talking like, there's easy ones like people dressing in the school uniform that these people go to, but there were the much more complicated dressing as their metaverse costumes. Like full masks, just insane costumes and accessories going on. You're like, this really has very distinct character designs, and these people just loved it. Like whole groups just going around as like the main party. So it definitely hit a nerve with people.
Right. And it's something like the New Game Plus has a lot of replayability. Because of how it changed, you keep your personas, yes. Right? And
you keep a lot of your stuff, a lot of stuff that you've already earned, so it makes it easier to go through it the second time, but and continue to get things that you would have really missed the first time, or unless you were following a guide and playing perfectly.
Right. Because there's not like new content, but you would end up choosing new relationships, or
you could choose new relationships.
Right?
There's certain events that happen that are triggered off your like stats, and your stats are already maxed, so you get the best result on the second time through, which may change things. You get access to certain features right from the start.
Right.
So you can spend your time better, since time is a limited resource in the game.
Right.
So there's a number of things that just make the second playthrough somewhat easier, and easier to get the completionist trophy if you're going for platinum. So yeah, it's up there. I was not expecting that game. I didn't know what I expected going into it. When someone's like, "Sure, just try it, friend."
Right.
Let me borrow it.
Because you hadn't played the other ones.
Never played any Personas. Didn't know what I was getting into. Didn't know how I'd feel about it. I just saw a video of like, wow, this looks like, I like the music. I like the art direction, the menu flow, everything. I'm like, that looks really cool. I'm really impressed by it.
Right.
I should check this out. And that was it. I was all in for, a month and a half to get through it.
You were really deep into that game.
So yeah, well worth it though.
So for me, the next one, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know how this is going to shake out. Like, I definitely thought Breath of the Wild was like the clear winner for me. But just such a great year of games makes the debate more difficult than I thought. And this game, like, it's Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Seriously.
Seriously, like, it is the most fun game I played this year. Like, it's more fun to me than Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild was...
I'm having a bit of trouble.
What the hell? Siri, stop talking.
Is it trying to hear your voice? And
it was. I have the Australian lady voice for my Siri, so there's my deep dark secret.
Okay.
My wife heard that. She's like, "Why do you have that voice?" I'm like, I don't know. I like it. It's like what's that movie with the AI voice? Scarlett Johansson, I think. Is the voice.
Yeah. I watched it. It was really good. Oh crap!
Oh god, what was that called? Anyway, it reminds me of that. But anyway, so Breath of the Wild, like, deep, rich, just so much to explore. And I loved it. It was a fun game, but I like Mario. This game is like just exactly the type of game I love. It's just like, it's a mashup, which I love already. I really apparently like strategy games. And I can't stop playing this game. Like, I'm going back to doing the challenges. I'm going back and playing old levels to like perfect, get a perfect score. Exploring every single like inch of the map. Just trying different combinations of the characters, the teams basically. I played one challenge for fucking 5 hours. Just trying to get Toad from one end of the map to the other, and it was like so difficult, which was great because it was a level 1, like a world 1 challenge, where if I came back later and I was over leveled, it would have been a lot easier. So I kind of wanted to do it where it was a challenge, but I kept getting, every single time I get a little closer and a little closer. I just kept tweaking what I was doing, tweaking my strategy until I got it, and it just felt amazing. Like that rush of like figuring the puzzle out and like just fine tuning your strategy to succeed. I hope to God they do another game, and I don't know if it's going to be like Mario. Like I'm imagining something like Legend of Zelda plus Rabbids, or Donkey Kong Country plus Rabbids, or something like this. This formula is really good. And I'm only about halfway through the game. Like, it's a game I think people are putting 20-25 hours into. And I don't usually 100% games, but I'm certainly going to do it with this game. I cannot stop.
That's insane to think of.
It's when it was revealed, it was like, this looks stupid. And then once we saw it at E3, it was like, oh, this actually looks pretty good. And playing it is just like, it's a revelation. Like, it is amazing. It is so fun. Just like it's fun. It's just so fun. I can't stop. And my wife's watching me play, and she's, asking me like how it's working and what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to explain it. Kind of like, it's like chess almost. I'm trying to explain it to her like that, basically. Just a lot of thought into every little move you do.
That's so cool. I'm definitely looking forward to trying that one out once I get a Switch.
Well, it's so great portable, because you can kind of just pick up and put down. I put it on. I docked it today. I docked my Switch for the first time in months and played it on the big screen, and I was like, oh, this looks better. It looked really good. But the soundtrack, everything, the character design, like there's just so much love in this game. It's just like it's like a fan project almost, right? This guy just really wanted to make this game and just knocked it out of the park. And I'm only halfway through, so who knows how I'm going to feel at the end. But it's definitely in consideration for top game of the year for me.
All right, I'm pleasantly surprised because I had no hope for that game, none at all.
Yeah, right. I don't think anyone did.
Yeah. Next for me will be somewhere on my list is going to be Horizon.
Aha.
I mean, I did platinum it.
Right. Yes. So you definitely liked it quite a bit.
I did enjoy it quite a bit. The even the rough facial animations, whatever, got past that. Like the actual mechanics of the game, the hunting, the looting, even the overall like world story. Once I really got into it, was an interesting take on post-apocalyptic. You really dig into it. It's also very dark, like really depressingly dark. So it's definitely going to be in my top 5. That's for sure. It doesn't top it, but it's a strong showing from Guerrilla for the fact that I didn't really like any of the Killzone games. I felt they were just bland shooters. Like, they look pretty. They're very, very pretty, but they're just kind of run-of-the-mill console shooters. So to see them step out of that and be given the ability to step out of that and pull it off so well, leaves me excited for what they're going to continue to do with this franchise. So
yeah, it was such a wild departure that it just that they stuck the landing so well. Which it's a game I hope to get back to before the year is up. Just I don't know, something about it just didn't grab me.
Yeah,
I think because other things are grabbing me
more.
I don't know. Yeah, right. Like I'm a Nintendo boy at heart, so like having the Switch come out at the same time and just like being in love with a lot of games on there just kind of pulled me away. But it's, what I played about 10 hours so far, and it's a solid game. I just hope to get back and finish it so that I can join that discussion. For me,
those 3 games are currently like my top games.
Right.
And then can I put a game on the list that's not
from this year?
Yeah, a recent game, but did come out again this year?
I'm going to say yes because I think it's one you've already played, right?
I have already played it. No, it's Final Fantasy 12.
Oh, 12. Okay.
I don't know if I can put the Zodiac. I'm like, it's been out, I guess, for like 10 years.
Yeah, right.
But now I have this new version that is the international version with some changes.
Right. This is our podcast.
I still I'm loving the game. So you talk about repeating the same zone for 5 hours in the same mission. Right. Let's see. So my wife and daughter went on their mama girl camping trip from Thursday to Saturday, and there was a point on Friday night after my son had gone to bed where I spent 4 hours zoning in and out of the same area, waiting for rare mobs to spawn, certain chests to spawn to get specific weapons.
Wow. It's got us hooked into you deep.
I was like, what am I doing? And I finished, I'm like, I did get what I wanted, and I'm like, no, I'm still enjoying it quite a bit. One, because in previous Final Fantasies, you would have your random battles would just happen.
Right.
You'd have the transition to the battle to win, and there'd be all that slow time. With 12, where it's all in the world, and you just target things like an MMO, and especially when I have my gambits set up, I can do this by just moving my movement stick. Like my guys are set up to just wreck everything, and it's super smooth to just keep doing this there's no interruption, there's no pausing and waiting, which I think some people, there's always back in the day people complaining, oh, this game just plays itself, and I'm like, well, the only reason it's playing itself is because I've set it that way. Like, I have tweaked all my little AI settings so that my guys will function as like a cohesive team of 3 that I don't need to get into to pause it to change things.
Right, because it's not necessarily playing itself because you're the one that set all that up.
Yes.
Without you, it wouldn't have happened.
My feeling of success that it all works is proof enough that there was strategy being put into there and me thinking through the whole thing.
Right.
But just how much smoother that allows the play to be. Like, you don't care about random mobs and random battles as much anymore because they don't really slow you down. They don't pause the
It's
game.
not as grindy, right? It doesn't feel as grindy.
No, it doesn't feel like I am grinding, but it doesn't feel nearly as grindy. Like,
right. That seems to solve a problem of those kind of games where you really need to grind through those small mobs or whatever to get the experience points, but it's just mundane.
Yeah. And I feel like that's where 15 won pretty well. Mm-hmm. Because it still was the action combat and stuff. You didn't have to deal with all this pausing and waiting.
Right.
And I really don't want to go back to the pausing and waiting. I played a little bit of Final Fantasy VII as well. My son wanted to do that, and it's such a harsh transition to go back to just active turn battle systems and the whole thing. I was like, man, this is really slow. And my son's like, no, I want to play 12. That's easier for me to watch.
Yeah, well, and iteration is good. Like, obviously, there's a special part or it plays as a special home in your heart.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII, but to go back is a little rough. Like, even with the 3x speed, like going back to that game, I mean, I never played it in the first place. I sat and watched our friend Travis play it for hours and hours and hours. But it's just, I appreciate it for what it was, but it's not a fun game to play for me.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to put Zodiac Age up there. Like, it is the best version of the game that I've ever played.
Yeah. I would almost want to put up in the same spirit, similar spirit, I should say, is No Man's Sky. Just because it feels like, obviously for me, it's new to me, but it feels like they put so much work into it. It seems like a new game for a lot of people who played it originally. Yeah. Obviously, it wouldn't make my list. I feel like that's cheating. That's more of a cheat than Final Fantasy 12.
I feel like it deserves an honorable mention.
Exactly. Like, just a call out. Like, this almost feels like a new game, even though it wasn't. And if it had come out this year like this, I think it would be in those discussions for me. Just because of how fun it is to explore and run around, fly around, whatever. But for me, the other game, maybe two games. There's some of my 3DS I'm forgetting about. But Injustice 2.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, Injustice 2 is still on my mind. The story mode was great. Just it just feels good. It just feels like a good, accessible fighter. In contrast to like Capcom versus Marvel, having played the demo and having played even 3, that doesn't feel like a good game to me. At least it doesn't work for me. But Injustice, like, it's just such a quality game, and they stuffed like a ridiculous amount of content into that $60 package. Just with all the towers and the challenges and the different online modes and then the offline modes, and even just the trophies are fun to hunt down because they have weird parameters. So that's in the top 5 right now, and then Splatoon 2 as well, just because that single player campaign is wacky, just so wacky. Like, just like they've created these small contained like playgrounds for you to learn how to use different weapons and different movement abilities and things like that. It's not too long, and it's fun. And then the multiplayer is really rad. Like, just, I don't know why it's more fun for me than 1 was, but it is. So that's somewhere in the conversation for me. And then eventually I'm going to get to play Echoes on 3DS sometime this year. So I'm hoping to talk about that one as well. So that's the things that we've been playing, but there's some stuff coming out that we're both kind of got our eyes on. So I'm hoping maybe we can choose a couple and talk about what's on the horizon for us that we think might be in the conversation and why. So
I'm just going to start this off just to discuss it. Where do you think Destiny 2 stands overall? Like, I have a lot of people that I know playing it.
Yep.
But I also hear a lot of complaints about it.
Right. For me, like, some of the early complaints, like especially about the shaders, have kind of leveled off a bit. Like, people were complaining at first, but I think some people are starting to understand what Bungie has done with that system.
Yeah. Sparrows is the one that seems really annoying, especially when it was brought up that it was like, well, what if you're in a group and 2 of the people have sparrows and you don't?
Right.
You're stuck just hoofing it. And I'm like, that is obnoxious. Like,
I felt like they put it, and for people who don't know, like, you don't get your sparrow till you either get level 20 or beat the campaign. I can't remember which.
It's level 20 or you find it randomly because they can be random. They can be random drops.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I thought it was like if you finish the campaign, so they're kind of trying to force you to do the campaign. But yeah, like if you're playing in a group with people who have sparrows and you don't get to play with your friends, or you're all walking. That sucks.
It's a weird choice, a really strange one. Which I guess mechanically, I mean, like just hold off, basically. Like either choose everyone has sparrows or no one has sparrows until a certain point.
Right.
It's worked in World of Warcraft and all the other MMOs just fine. Like
right.
This is one I'm like, this is a problem that didn't really need to be solved. It already had been.
And that makes me think they weren't looking at what other people have done, but they work closely with Blizzard, right? Like Blizzard.
Well, they worked with Battle.net.
Well, no, I mean in terms of Diablo 3 team coming over and saying, "Hey, we had a shitty first launch too, and here's what we did to fix it."
Diablo 3 doesn't have the mount problem.
No, I know, but I don't think it's a leap to say that if the Diablo 3 team's talking to you, maybe the World of Warcraft team is talking to you too. I don't know, or they at least have access to them.
Yeah. So that was but it's weird because I'm just trying to see, like, trying to get a sense that. Because I feel like I'll probably play this game before the year's out, maybe.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm trying to get a sense of where it would actually stand, because it's being praised as better than the first. But I'm not hearing, like, this, like, Game of the Year buzz around it. Like, people are like, one person put it like, the story is better than the first one, but is still rubbish.
Oh, wow. I've been hearing praise about the story. I haven't heard that part.
No, this person was like, he was like, yeah, it's better than it's a guy Fall on Twitter. He's like, it feels like Halo.
Oh well, that's
and he's like, it's a standard kind of FPS Bayhem action story, Halo story. Like there's not a whole lot deeper going on there. And then one other video review I saw of it made a quick joke of they went story like, this will go down as the greatest story in video games ever told. Like, all seriously, and it's like, pause. No, I'm just kidding. It's decent, but nothing that will stand out in a year or two.
I feel like it's the game of low expectations. Like, the first game was abysmal, so anything that's better just looks amazing by comparison, maybe. I've
heard that it's a fun story, but it's nothing that's...
Exactly.
The writing supposedly it's still kind of... tonally jumps everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's one where I'm just like, I don't know where this is going to land on, like, Game of the Year lists.
Well, for me, it almost smacks of exactly what you were talking about with Final Fantasy 12. Like, it seems almost like a iteration on Destiny 1 in that everything I've heard about it is like they've taken all the systems and refined the things that you wanted to have been better about Destiny 1 and then just put it with a new campaign. Like, I don't know how different it is. Obviously, it is a different game. You know, it's not a remake or anything like that. But some people are talking about how it feels like a remake, just with a better story. I don't know. It's just the more I hear about it, I really do want to try it before the end of the year because I want to have that discussion about it. And I think I would have fun with the campaign, but I can certainly wait.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I had a bit of FOMO originally, like a twinge of it.
Me too.
And then over the past couple days, I've been like, no, it's okay.
That's I was on the PSN page. I was like hovering over. I was like, nope. I'm playing Mario plus Rabbids. I'm just gonna stick with that.
Yeah, I went to Final Fantasy 12 and just went into that and was like, getting my RPG fix out of that.
Right. Yeah, but we both had that feeling of, you know, I think we were there when we both were there when Destiny 1 came out, and it just feels like I want to be part of it right now, but I can wait. There's no reason for me to do
and
that.
Even the people that I tend to play with aren't even playing it. So
yeah.
So yeah. Well, that one's out of the way. So what do we think of coming out? I mean, Super Mario Odyssey is probably up there as like the main wild card coming in that could be Game of the Year. Yeah,
for me, almost all the ones I'm looking forward to are Nintendo games. It's Mario Odyssey, it's Samus Returns, which comes out next week. And then it's, just because I'm a nerd, Fire Emblem Warriors. That one, I don't think that's going to be in the Game of the Year discussion, but I'm looking forward to it. In terms of Game of the Year discussion, I think it's Mario. I think it's probably Assassin's Creed Origins and then Shadow of War. Those three games are games that I want to get day one. throughout the rest of the year.
I agree. I'm looking at that. It's funny to bring up Samus Returns, because it's really weird to think of saying like a 3DS game of the year, but it really could be for me.
It could be, absolutely.
I can't believe it's next week. That's ridiculous.
I got my pre-order, and you got the special edition one coming, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you got the regular one? Okay.
Yeah, I don't... Did they do a special edition for the US?
Oh, yeah. My friend Brad has his on order. I thought you did as well.
It came with the sound. I didn't care.
Soundtrack.
I don't want the physical soundtrack.
Right.
I don't care. Another disc I can lose.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, yeah, I didn't end up getting that. I just had the regular edition. I'm toying with the thought of getting a new 2DS XL. I sold off a bunch of three board games over the past week, and made a few $100s. So
dang,
they're out of print board games that I'd played one time about 10 years ago.
And you're like, I'm not going to play this again.
I'm never playing it again, and they're out of print and very desirable to people. So
right. Nice.
So I have I sold those to kind of finance maybe if I want to get the new 2DS XL, or if I just want to hold on to it and use it to buy Switch games.
Right. Well, this last week I've been playing the 3DS XL more in between. It just depends on where I'm sitting in my house. On one chair I have my Switch. On the couch I have my 3DS. So wherever I end up with the kid is what I play. And I've been playing the, believe it or not, Monster Hunter Stories demo. Okay. I've tried several Monster Hunter games, both on 3DS and Wii U, and I just don't like them. I'm not interested in them. I tried to like them, and I just don't like it. But this one is really good. Like, people are talking about how Monster Hunter Stories is the best Pokemon game on 3DS.
What?
Forget about what you know about regular Monster Hunter. It is a turn-based RPG where you go through the world, find monsters, of course, and you fight them there's like a weapon triangle, like speed, technical, or power. And depending on which monster you're fighting, like if they use speed, you should use technical, and then you'll beat. It's like a rock, paper, scissors kind of format. And the goal is, in the game, there's a ton of side quests, ton of regular quests, but you're collecting monster eggs, and you're hatching monster eggs, and you're just creating a whole stable full of monsters.
You're collecting monsters.
You are. It's Pokemon, but Monster Hunter.
Okay.
And turn-based RPG, fights. So I just picked up the demo a while ago, and people were talking about it. I think I heard on the Game Informer podcast about it coming out, so I got the demo just to see. And it's a huge demo. Like, it's like the whole first part of the game. Like, I think it's hours and hours long, this demo. I played it for about an hour and a half, and I don't think I'm nearly done with it. Okay. So, if you're interested,
I'll check that demo out.
Yeah, it's free, so you get a good sense of what the game is like. But just playing on that 3DS XL or 2DS XL, it's just like, dang, this is it's a nice machine. I'm glad to have this thing as like the legacy system for the whole 3DS and DS library. Yeah. Which I'm in the process of building the DS part out. Yeah, got this Chrono Trigger, Elite Beat Agents, Phantom Hourglass. So gonna try to get one game per month for the next probably year. So yeah, I hope you get your hands on one. I think it's a nice upgrade. Yeah. If you don't care about 3D.
I don't, not at all.
Yeah. Let's see here. Just real quick, Shadow War. I'm looking forward to that just because Shadow of Mordor was so good. I just can't. I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around what Shadow War actually is. It just seems like there are so many systems in it now, and I'm not sure what the campaign looks like, or I'm not sure. There's like this like Metal Gear Solid 5 like build up your base kind of thing going on that I don't care about. The microtransaction is a little weird. So I'm waiting for reviews on that one.
It's why I actually worry about not worry, like think about like an Assassin's Creed, even Origins being in true game of the year discussion, is because they just throw so much in. Yeah. Like they feel like because this is a long running franchise, they just have to continually throw things in. And more often than not, that actually tends to just be a detriment over it, because while they have some good systems, they have plenty of systems in the game that just are half-assed or not really complete. Right. So I never felt like the games get super like tight enough, even the ones I really like. Yeah. it was hard for them to contain everything. And then as each game's come on, they're like, we got to add more and more and more. And I'm like, no, you don't. It's okay. Like,
yeah, I felt like they were buckling under that weight. So maybe that's why they took the time off to just reimagine what this thing is from the foundation.
Yeah. It's the problem of franchised, yearly franchised games.
Right.
Call of Duties went through it. The Battlefields went through it for a bit there.
There's no time to reflect. You just have to keep going.
And they're like, well, how do we keep going? Add more.
Right.
Same, but more. Like,
well, it's almost like the annualized sports games where it's the same game, but they add like some tiny little thing.
Yeah. So
I do have hopes for that game, though. I really liked Syndicate. Like, I've dabbled in Assassin's Creed. I've only beaten Syndicate, but I played a healthy chunk of several other ones, and Syndicate just felt good. So I'm hoping that they've kind of built on that.
Yeah, they've had some time, and hopefully then, like I said, they've had time to reflect on Syndicate, the successes of Syndicate, and really build on those while cutting away the crap.
Exactly.
We'll see, though. Beyond
next month, man. Next month.
Yeah. Oh, God, I don't have time for all this. I don't have time or money for all this. God.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's Odyssey, which we talked a little bit about.
Yeah, and Odyssey, like, even playing 10 minutes of it, holy cow.
Yeah.
It feels so good. I mean, it feels as good as any, like, other 3D Mario. It just controls really well. The hat feels good. The more open worldish exploration, like, they're big levels that you're exploring. And there's all sorts of hidden stuff in them. The 2D stuff, the transition from 3D to 2D works surprisingly well. And the 2D controls like you would expect 2D Mario to control.
Right.
Like, the whole thing. So it works. It works really well. And like I said last week, I feel like they're holding the cards close to their chest on all the content in the game.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be a huge game.
Like Breath of the Wild sized huge, or in a Mario skin, I guess.
In a Mario skin, but I feel like it's just going to be huge in the number of worlds that you're going to. Well,
they had a long time to polish this game because it was
exactly.
I think it was supposed to come out on Wii U.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I can't believe that this game wouldn't be in discussion for Game of the Year.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Unless they've just flubbed everything else that they aren't showing to the public.
Right.
But that's not Nintendo's
unlikely.
way.
No.
You tend to get an idea if the game's going to be good or not from them from the get-go.
And I just, in a banner year for games, I can't believe how much Nintendo is standing out. Like, this is a incredible year for Nintendo. Like, if you look at there's just the 3/4 of the year lineup for the Switch, like Breath of the Wild, Splatoon, Mario Kart. I know it's a remake, but then Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Mario Rabbids definitely should be in that conversation, even though it's not a Nintendo game. And then, we're getting some high quality third party ports like this NBA 2K16, for example, is like, I don't know if you read the article today, but it's the president of, I guess this 2K, right? Was like, this game needs to be the same game. So they like worked their asses off to make it the same game. And the early discussion is that it holds up incredibly well against the PS4 and Xbox One versions, which is kind of surprising to me. And, obviously the textures are probably lower and whatever else, but
make compromises where they need to, but still awesome.
Yeah. So it's a banner year for Nintendo, which is surprising because even with the 3DS, like, Samus Returns is crazy huge, I think. And the fact that all the previews are saying, they said that it's like a remake of the Game Boy game. It's not. Like, that's the foundation. Like, you hunt down the 40 Metroids, but other than that, this is a brand new game. Like, it is new. So it's a new 2D Metroid. Like, people have been dying for that forever. It's just killer year.
It is. I'm sure there'll be some other surprise standouts as time goes on towards the end of the year. But I'm pretty excited. I think this is going to be exciting times. This next 3 months are going to be just... It's going to be one of the better holidays in a long time.
Yeah.
This year has been one of the better years, but this holiday especially is going to just one after another.
Well, this is the year where I'll be winding down my video game purchases. Obviously, I'll still keep getting new games, but at the rate that I've purchased new games, I'm going to be on a budget soon.
Yes.
So it's a nice year to kind of go out on in terms of splurging because there's so much. And then, like, I swear we talked about it before, but I could never buy another game after December 31st of this year and be happy probably for a decade.
Yeah.
You know? All the
I completely agree.
That are fantastic. So, yeah, just great. Anything else coming out before the end of the year that needs to be mentioned?
I don't think anything that, for me at least, that's standing out. Like, those are the big ones we've hit upon.
Yeah. For me, yeah, again, just Fire Emblem Warriors, just because this, Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U was just stupid fun. So this is just more stupid fun with Fire Emblem characters that I love. So awesome stuff. And then Frozen Wilds, are you interested in that at all?
I am. I'll be picking that up. I don't consider it a new game though. Like,
right. Yeah.
I think it's all DLC. It's not a standalone.
That's
no.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I totally forgot about earlier. I forgot a game that I should have mentioned.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering. I have it written down as well. That's one that I want to play by the end of the year.
Right. Yeah. So. Lost Legacy is certainly going to be in discussions for the top 5. It's really good.
That's amazing.
That open world part is a little long in the tooth, but it's Uncharted. It's just as good. Having been introduced to Uncharted just last year, playing through all 4 games, and then hopping over to this, it just feels like more Uncharted, which is fantastic because it ends up being one of my favorite series.
And you get to see why Naughty Dog is so good at what they do.
So good. Just ridiculous. So that'll certainly be in the discussions at the end of the year for me. And hopefully you'll be able to pick it up, or we got to find some way to just make my account on your PlayStation. You can play my digital games too.
I've done it with one other person. It's still kind of a pain in the ass.
Oh, okay.
Like, I can do it, but I would have to log in on my PlayStation as you.
Right.
Even though yours is not the primary. It's not your primary machine, but I could log in as you and play games. But it's really weird. I did that to play Bloodborne some back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
With another friend.
Yeah.
There's enough annoyance with logging out and logging in to different accounts.
Yeah.
And you can't be logged in from 2 machines at the same time. So if you're going to play, be playing, I couldn't play and vice versa.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work then.
No. It's fine. I will be picking it up eventually. I just have to figure out what I'm going to play. Because once I get that Switch, I'm going to have so many more games to play.
I know, you got to...
That's been holding off. I'm like, wow, I at least have this chunk of games that I just can't play right now. Right.
Well, and are you going to jump back in and play Breath of the Wild again this year? Or are you going to play the ones you haven't played yet and play
Probably
play
the ones I haven't played yet.
Okay.
Like, I think the first one, a major one that I'm really just building towards is going to be, of course, Odyssey. Really going all in on Odyssey. And then probably Rabbids, honestly. Yeah. That's one that's interesting to me. And there's been a bunch of indies that I want to check out.
Yeah.
Like, games that I just want portably. I will likely pick up Xenoblade Chronicles 2. A big, giant RPG that I can carry around portably. Give it to me.
Yeah, it seems like an Anthony game. Yep. Sure. Skyrim. There's another one. LA Noire.
I saw that got announced.
Switch. Yeah.
I never played played it originally, so I always heard mixed things.
Yeah, exactly. Just the fact, like the idea that think about like PS3, Xbox 360 era games, port them to Switch. Like they're basically the same game, but they're portable. That makes it new enough that people are going to want to double dip. Imagine. Yep. Okay, so LA Noire, I think, opens up the door for Red Dead Redemption. I don't think that'll ever happen, but maybe. But I really do think it opens the door for GTA 5 because that could run on Xbox 360 and PS3. That's where it launched.
That's true.
And the Switch is more powerful than either of those 2 consoles.
Yeah.
So the fact that people would die to have that game portable. So I think I hope that's coming.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like that game. I mean, I don't think I would buy it, but
it'll be interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to see overall. I guess that a lot of these companies are still just waiting to see like total sales and then how like older games sell on Switch.
Yeah.
Like if Skyrim and LA Noire do really well,
right,
you're going to start seeing a flood from developers.
I also think people are waiting to see if Nintendo can produce more. I think that they've proven that it's a item people want, but do they have enough stock? Like, there's been several articles recently where Nintendo said, yeah, we know like 20 million people are going to want this system, but we're only going to have 10 million of them. So that's what we have.
They're competing for RAM chips.
Right, exactly. Competing for components.
Components against Apple. Have fun with that.
Yeah. Well, you still in the market for a Switch, right? That might be coming.
Yeah, it will come within probably a month or so.
Cool. Just every time I see them in stock,
I'm kind of just waiting because I also expect that there's probably going to be a Mario themed, not even a bundle, but like a Mario one with it. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I kind of want that if it's there. Or there's going to be a special Breath of the Wild themed one around this Christmas time. Like, I could see that.
Well, the rumor is there will be a direct this Wednesday. So
really?
If that's true, this is a gaffe rumor from people who have been pretty credible in the past. So if that's true, you might get news about that then.
Yeah. All right.
So let's see this week, see what happens.
Yeah. Well, awesome.
Right. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate kind of the stroll through memory lane from the games we played this year, and looking forward to like how this epic game year is going to pan out.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is a really good one. I'm excited.
So good. All right, man. Again, he's at SummerSpeak. I'm at Prof Plays Games. This has been episode 104 of Prof and Dev Play Games. We will be back next week talking about news. And just one piece of advice: stop watching PewDiePie.
It's true. Just stop now.
Yeah.
I did watch illegal. Like, there's a person on YouTube I've started watching who is a IP lawyer, copyright and IP lawyer.
Uh-huh.
And he's basically talking about Camposanto, the founder, saying that. And he's like, so Camposanto on their website, unfortunately, had a specific thing saying that they, on their FAQ for Firewatch, can you stream our game? And they're like, yes, right? And you can monetize it.
So they can't do that.
And he's like, and people are like, well, it's a website, you can't take it. And he's like, well, in court, that would be considered an implied license to let people do it. Right. So they probably don't have any recourse that they can take. Like, they can do a DMCA takedown, but he's even saying that it's really hard to, if that's challenged, it will probably be removed just because it's such an old video.
Right.
There's a lot of legal stuff he's going into. He's like, nope, PewDiePie's an asshole, but there's not a whole lot you can do, guys, with that on your website and not taking any issue at all since your video came out. So, going forward, sure, go right ahead. Make people sign a contract or something to stream, but like Nintendo does. Nintendo makes rules for streaming.
Right.
So, but this might kick off a way that we'll start getting more court cases and definition of what you can do and not do streaming, and what the rights of streamers and rights of developers are and publishers.
Right.
Because has not been defined. It's just kind of a Wild West area.
Exactly, and the publishers are seeing it as free PR, so they're basically tacitly endorsing it, or outright endorsing it.
We're in a weird place, but this might spark enough that people will start thinking about that more and considering what recourse they can take and what they can do. And like I said, maybe not just send out keys freely, make people, if they want to stream it, sign a contract saying what your behavior on your stream will be.
Well, and there's nothing to stop consumers from saying, I'm not going to watch this guy anymore.
Exactly. And they shouldn't. Like, I don't watch it. I've never watched him anyway.
I've never watched him, so it's I can't.
I think I missed that generation where I'm not of the generation that watches him. So
I don't watch streamers at all. So
I watch some streamers. There's a very few that I do, though. Yeah. Like, it's specific ones playing very specific games that I want, but I don't just leave streamers on randomly watching what they do. So
yeah, my content consumption is almost, for video game content, is either reading websites or just podcasts. Like, I listen to a shit ton of video game podcasts. That's my guilty pleasure. That's my pulp novel right now. Like, I just can't get enough. But those are personalities, but they're not really, no one's streaming, obviously, on those things. So anyway, just free advice: stop listening to that guy.
Yeah. Let's cut his viewership down. Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, that's episode 104. I'm going to go take care of my little baby.
You should do that.
Yeah, definitely. But thank you, Anthony. I'm going to get back to Rabbids tonight as well.
Nice.
And you are probably going to be on to Final Fantasy. So
yeah, if I get online,
sleep.
we'll see. Or sleep.
Yeah.
I'm very tired.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, have a good night, everyone.
Yeah. All right. See you later, guys.